Hi everyone, I'm Charlie Carnaccio along with Ken Mann from Freedom Financial Solutions. We are in the black and talking about our In the Black series. The 9 principles that will make your business profitable is what we're going to focus on in these next 9 segments. Any business owner, regardless of talent or skill or experience, can apply these principles and make their business more profitable. Yes. So what are those principles?
Well, the principles we're going to cover in detail in the next 9 sessions.
Yeah.
So, but the thing to point out is that big businesses, right, they have a marketing department, a production department, an accounting department, and they have all these people are working in those various areas. The small business owner typically doesn't have those departments and ends up having to take on all those hats all at once. So we're going to look at all 3 of those areas. We're going to look at marketing, we're going to look at production, and we're going to look at accounting, and we're going to talk about 3 principles from each of those 3 areas to help the business owner understand and grow their business.
Now, these 3 areas of business, they all work separately, but they really need to work together in order for you to be profitable.
Exactly. So first, let's define the areas really fast. So marketing is the purpose of bringing people to your door and ultimately resulting in some sort of a sale. Production deals with the flow of the product through your system. So it's from the first time an order enters into your environment until it leaves the door. And accounting is sort of the one that gathers all the data and reports on that information to let you know how your marketing and how your production are doing. So if you look at each of those areas as a circle, marketing, accounting, and production, and those circles need to overlap, and where that overlap takes place is where your profitability is. So when they're all working separately, the overlap of those 3 circles tends to be very small. So our goal is to make marketing, production, and accounting all work together and communicate with each other so those circles start to converge, and the bigger that convergence is in the center, the more profit that business is going to have.
Yeah, and one of the things that I want to bring to light with these series, which is really good for small businesses, and if you're a small business and you're watching this, this is important to know. Because as a small business owner, we don't have the time to educate ourselves. We're so busy in our business. And these are great specific points that even if you have someone who's doing your accounting, you should know what's going on and what needs to happen in order to contribute to the cause of that accounting. And Ken, you probably can attest to this as well. As a small business owner, it's very hard for us to get out and educate ourselves, and that's why this series will hopefully educate the small business owners here in our area.
Yep. So let me give you some examples of how circles maybe aren't converging in an example of a business. So for example, marketing and sales are going on and they're selling products, but they're not telling production what they've actually sold or the deadlines where they have to deliver those things in. So all of a sudden, the production department gets slammed with all these sales that they had no idea were coming, and they may not have the inventory to produce them or the manpower or whatever to produce them. And so even though marketing and sales are going great for that company, they've got a critical problem because production had no idea that those were coming. Another area is people don't always know what their costs are. So they may actually be selling a product and they're selling it for less money than what it costs them to produce it. And that's even true in services. If you hire subcontractors or you have other expenses that you have to vendor out, if you're not paying attention to those costs, you may actually be losing money on those sales. A third area is an area you may be selling a product or a service and putting all your focus into that, and it's really not moving much and it's not very profitable. Meanwhile, you have another product or service over here that is very profitable, and you're not even investing any of your time or marketing or research into that product, and so your mix of how you spend your time and money are not consistent with what can make you the most profit. And the last thing is people will tend to focus on the products that they love and are passionate about and ignore the ones that actually are the most profitable. So understanding how those things all play together can help a business owner to shift focus and make a lot more money in their business. So I actually have a really great example of one of my clients that I'd like to share. So this person has a retail store, and when I first became his accountant, he had no accounting system in place. So he was just going out and buying inventory, and he was pumping a lot of his own personal money into the business. And he was frustrated because he wasn't making money. He was actually accumulating more and more debt. So first thing to do is to put an accounting system in place, and we got an idea of what his numbers were. And as soon as we evaluated the numbers, we saw that he was investing a lot of money into products that weren't selling. And so once we saw what the problems were, we were able to quickly put a plan in place to stop the bad habits and implement good habits. And he changed his focus, he listened, he implemented these ideas, and within the first 3 years, he eliminated all of his debt. He went from losing money, and last year his profit was over $100,000. Right? You think he's happy when I come in to see him? He's very happy because the numbers communicated what was going on in the business. As we talked about earlier, accounting is the language of the business, and you really need to understand that business's language to be more profitable.
That's right. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. It's just that simple. All right, so we have 9 parts of this series that we're going to go through, 9 principles in our In the Black series with Ken Mann, and they will start next week. This is kind of an overview, and next week we will start with number 1, which is nothing happens until you make a sale. We'll see you next time.